working? Are we on?
Yeah.
All right, thumbs up. All right, so we're looking at chapter 4, homework number 4. And these are concepts 4 and well, homework 4 is concepts, homework 5 are some quantitative problems. So what is a multiple? So we've gone through and we've done the first half of the equation. So we got a marker that's dark enough to show up. So once again, forecast price equals forecast multiple times forecast, well, actually it's forecast fundamental. Those are the two variables. All right, so we've done this part of it. Forecast fundamental, the things that we are buying, okay? Now we're going into the second half of this, which is forecasting the multiple. And so, what is a multiple? A multiple is a standard unit of measure used to ascertain the value of a business or of a stock. A standard unit of measure. Okay? This is what we're buying. How much are we going to pay for it? That's what the multiple is. How much are we going to pay for what we're buying? Create an example of a multiple. Well, you take the total market price of a business or the market price of one share of stock and you put that in the numerator. And in the denominator, you put the total fundamental or the fundamental per share. So you have a numerator and a denominator, which is why chapter 4 used to be part of chapter 3. It's a ratio. It's called a market value ratio, more commonly called a multiple. So price in the numerator and fundamental in the denominator. How do we start the process of finding an appropriate multiple? What should we pay for those fundamentals that we have forecast out? Well, we get a market price from a financial market or from some organization that maintains a database of business sales. There are lots of databases out there that collect data on transactions that are done. Now, the ticker tape above you is a database of prices. A stock price is a market price. It is the market telling us what a stock is worth. Okay? So that's the market price. You get the company fundamentals, so that's what goes in the numerator, and then you get the company fundamentals from the financial statements of businesses that have been involved in sales or from businesses that have stock that is publicly traded. So you go to the financial statements to get the fundamentals that go in the denominator. So anytime a merger or acquisition takes place, one of the first steps is to share financial information, okay? And if it's a big deal, most people want audited financial statements. They want to be confident that the numbers are accurate and that they can be verified, that they're real. Because you can have accurate numbers that are completely made up, okay? So the two components of the multiple are the market price in the numerator and the company fundamental in the denominator. All right. So what does a financial market do? And list two examples of a financial market. Yes?
What was in the denominator for?
Company fundamental. Company fundamental in the denominator. Market price in the numerator, company fundamental in the denominator. All right. So what does a financial market do? And list two examples of a financial market. A market brings together buyers and sellers. That's what any market does. It is simply connecting buyers and sellers. Okay? There are all sorts of markets. For thousands of years, a market was a physical connection. Okay? For the most part, you went to the market. And then with the creation of the wheel, sometimes people would throw stuff in a wagon and they would go around and knock on your door, okay? And that was a market. Now, most markets are turning into electronic markets. It's all the same process, just bringing together buyers and sellers. So a financial market brings together people who want to trade financial assets. Financial assets, okay? Stocks, bonds, mutual funds, options and futures, okay? So examples include the stock market. The stock market brings together buyers and sellers, people who have money and people who have stocks and they want to transact. The bond market, they're transacting in bonds instead of stocks. The commodities markets, they're making deals on agricultural products and on precious metals, on industrial metals, okay? And then the exchange markets. The exchange markets, where people are swapping currencies. Okay? So these are all financial markets. What three functions do the financial markets serve? Okay? Three functions. First, they help organizations raise capital. You go to the financial markets in order to raise capital for your organization, whether it's a government or a nonprofit or a private sector for-profit organization. They all go to the financial markets to raise capital. Okay. So the U.S. government raises trillions in the capital markets. Second, they provide liquidity for investors. When an organization raises capital and they bring cash in and they hand people stocks and bonds in return for their cash, well, sometimes those people who put cash in the organization, they need to liquidate part or all of their holdings. Well, how do they liquidate part or all of their holdings? Do they go back to the organization and say, you got to buy it back from me? That was not the deal, okay? Typically, the way you liquidate part or all of your holdings is you sell it to another investor. That's how it's done, okay? So if Walmart or Google needs capital for their business and they sell you some stock and then you go back to Google and say, well, I want my money back, they're going to go, well, why are you bothering me? I'm not in the business of doing that. You know, Sloan, you heard Michael Ching might be in the market for your Google stock. Call him. Don't call us. That wasn't the deal. So what brings together me and Michael? The market. The market, okay? So that's providing liquidity, really important function. If you don't have liquidity for investors, investors are far less likely to make the investment to begin with. Okay, but if they know that they can sell some part or all of their assets at a fair price, and they're betting on you as a management team and your products and services and your financial statements, they'll feel pretty good about making the investment. Third, they provide multiples, and this is a byproduct. They provide multiples for investors to use in the process of valuing companies and stocks. The financial markets provide a pricing mechanism. They provide a guide for all investors to look at. It's a byproduct. When they created the markets, they didn't think, well, let's create multiples. They thought, let's raise capital and provide liquidity. But in the process, that we got what's called price discovery. What's something worth? The market tells us that. Okay? Name some organizations that maintain information pertaining to the sale of businesses. All right? So, these are firms that maintain data. Accounting firms. Okay? Accounting firms help companies structure transactions, so they maintain the data. Law firms are involved in mergers and acquisitions. Business brokers, people who are in the business of helping people buy and sell their businesses. That's what they do, business brokers. They maintain data. Okay? Then private research companies. Lots of research companies out there that maintain data on transactions. okay? And then, let me just add trade associations, industry associations. If you have a company, then your company, it's highly doubtful that your company is unique. Your company is one of thousands of companies across the world that provide the product and service that they provide. There are lots of companies that do that. And what do you call the accumulation of all the companies that are doing similar things? You call that a what? An industry. An industry. And industries tend to band together and create groups, and they get together and they talk about their industry. They talk about what's working, what's not working, technology that helps, practices that help. Often they will hire an attorney who will go to Congress and talk to them about the laws and regulations. That's called lobbying. Okay? So almost every industry has a trade association. And one thing a trade association does is they maintain data on transactions that are done in the industry. So if you want to know what is an appropriate multiple to pay for an Italian restaurant, you can go to the Restaurant Trade Association and you can get data on that to help you determine what a fair price is. All right, let's shift over to homework 5. What advantage does a multiple have over using a dollar figure? Well, as I said, a multiple is a standard unit of measure. And this allows you or enables you to compare dissimilar assets, large companies and small companies. That's what a multiple does. It allows you to compare values for large companies and small companies. For example, you can use multiples for a large company to help determine the value of a small company. So in the video, I use the egg example. We use multiples, standard units of measure, all the time in the grocery store. We're trying to compare a large package with a small package. Okay, we're trying to buy, I don't know, cookies. Okay, and they have a 3/4 pound bag or box of cookies, and they have a 1.5 pound box of cookies. And one's $3 and the other's $2. And you're going, oh, I don't want to spend $3. All right, but then you start looking at it, you're going, well, this one weighs a lot more, which means I'm getting a lot more cookies. I wonder which is the better deal. So you look at the price per ounce. There's a tag there that says the price per ounce. And you see that one is 18 cents per ounce and the other is 13 cents per ounce. And so you're thinking, I think I'll go ahead and get the one that's 13 cents per ounce, the bigger bag. I'm going to eat them anyway, and it's a better buy. That's what a multiple is. How much am I paying for one unit of fundamental? That's what a multiple is. So let's use another example, residential real estate, buying a house. You're going to use this, I can assure you. Hopefully, at some point in your life, you'll be looking to buy or sell a house. Okay? And in my day, that was the ultimate thing. Okay? You guys, your values are starting to change a little bit, and having a big house isn't that important to most of you. And I think that's a good thing, actually. So, what multiples used to value a residential home? List the formula. Well, it's price per square foot. How much are you going to pay for 1 square foot? That enables you to compare large houses and small houses. If you have a large house that's selling at $600,000 and a small house that's selling at $200,000, you really can't compare the two on price alone. Okay? Find the price per square foot for the following houses. So the price is $225,000 for the house, and it's 2,000 square feet. How much are we paying for each foot? And it's $225,000 divided by 2,000, and the answer is $112.50 per foot. It's like, well, I want to put my house on the market. There's a house a street over that just sold for $400,000, so I'm going to price my house at $400,000. Oh, well, we got a problem. The house that sold for $400,000 is 3,500 square feet, and your house is 2,500 square feet. I don't think $400,000 is a fair price. Now, we'll get into, yeah, but my house has hardwood floors and granite countertops, and that house doesn't. And my house is sits on the golf course, and that house doesn't. Those are qualitative differences, and we'll get to that. All right? Right now, we're looking at just quantitative differences. So the second house has a price of $350,000, and it's 2,800 square feet. Okay? The price per square foot is the price, $350,000 divided by the number of square feet, 2,800, $125 a square foot. The third house has a price of $700,000, and it's 4,500 square feet. All right? So it's $700,000 divided by 4,500, $155.56. All right? Find the unit cost of building the following. A 500-unit apartment complex, and if you go to any big city, you'll find these large complexes. The total price of the complex is $25 million. How much did each unit cost? So $25 million divided by 500 units is $50,000 per unit. So that's an important number for you to know, yeah?
What's the total price did you say?
$25 million?
I don't think it says that. Yeah, it doesn't say that.
Okay. All right, well, I'll give it to you. $25 million. Not sure why that.
It looks like it just didn't print.
Okay. So how much is the price per unit? About $50,000. All right. So there's a 30-acre development. Land cost is $300,000. Improvement cost is $1 million. And there are 81 lots. What is the cost per acre? Okay. So it's $300,000 plus $1 million. That's $1.3 million divided by 30 acres. You're paying $43,300 per acre. You've got to figure out, you've got to learn how to do these standard costs, because that allows you to compare assets. Is it a fair price? You don't know. You can't compare an 80-acre lot with a 30-acre lot on total price. You want to know what you're paying for each acre. What is the cost per lot? $1.3 million divided by 81 lots, $16,049.38. Okay? You've got to know that. Okay? Because what if you think you can sell, what if you're interested in selling those lots, and you go around town and you start pricing residential lots, and you see that a typical lot, the size that you're talking about, in your town or in your market goes for $14,000. But then you have a cost of $16,000 in the lot. You know what you just learned? You're not going to make any money. Stay away from the deal.
Will you repeat the answers for those two? The per acre and per lot?
Yeah, 43.3 and 16,049.38. And if you've got your calculator, you can do those calculations. All right. Value the following houses using the average price per square foot found in question 3. All right. So the average price per square foot for the 3 houses is $112.50 plus $125 plus $155.56 divided by 3. And that is equal to the $131.02. That's the average price per foot. So I just took those 3 prices in question 3, added them up, divided by 3, came up with $131.02. All right, so now let's value these houses. We found what the average price is per square foot. So the 1,800 square foot house is 1,800 times 131.02. And you get $235,836. The 2,400 square foot house multiplied by $131.02 is $314,448. 314,448. 2,400 times 13102. And then the 3,200 square foot house is 3,200 times 131.02. Then it's $419,264. All right, let's finish this up. Last section, section 6. I went online and I found average price per square foot in different communities. I thought you might be interested in it. So in Searcy, the average nice house in Searcy goes for $115 a foot. So a 2,500 square foot house. So what's a 2,500 square foot house? A 2,500 square foot house has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, maybe 2.5 baths, and a dining room and a den. Okay, 2,500 square feet. So 115 times 2,500 is 287,500. So 2,500 is a nice size house for a family of 4. It's not big, but it's not small. It's a good solid size. All right, in Nashville at $170 a foot, that would be 2,500 times 170, 425,000. What it would cost you. These are prices from last year, probably higher now. That same house in Dallas at $200 a foot will cost you $500,000. That same house in Atlanta at $225 a foot, $562,500. And for those of you who want to go to New York City, you'll pay an average of $1,650 a square foot for a 2,500 square foot house, and it will cost you $4,125,000. And that is not a luxury penthouse, by the way. Okay? It'll cost you 3 or 4 times that for a luxury penthouse. So that's why most people who go to the big city live in small spaces and they rent. They don't own. Because who can afford a $4 million house? Now the truth is, when you go to these other markets, your salaries, your compensation will be higher than what you'll make in a smaller town. But it will not offset the higher cost of living. I'll tell you that right now. You're better off making $75,000 in Searcy than you are making $90,000 in Nashville or Atlanta. I can assure you, the cost of living is that much higher. So yeah, you'll make more, but you'll spend more of it to live. Okay, so these are choices you have to make. So I thought you'd want to see that, and you're going to run into this as you start looking at real estate. All right, so 4 and 5 are due tonight, midnight. Y'all have a great day. Grant, you want to hit that button for me?
Yeah.